Hello everyone and welcome to Nebchem Gaming, our brand new channel. Our first ever review is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. My name's Ben and I'm reviewing the multiplayer section of this title. Although the review is quite negative, please bear in mind that the title last year was very shoddy and it just wasn't really a fun game in my personal experience, so the review is reflecting on that. You're going to get my complete honest opinions on these reviews, and I don't see the point in doing a review where I'm just a Call of Duty fanboy and agree with everyone that Call of Duty is better than absolutely everything. I just don't see the point in that. So, without further ado, let's get into it, and if you don't mind, can you just leave either a like or a dislike? Even if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine, but we need to know whether the content that we're putting out is good or bad, so if you could leave a like or dislike rating, that would be great. Thanks guys, and without further ado, enjoy the review. The maps. The maps in this game seem to be leaving the classic 6v6 games behind, as they are just too big. I can be walking around in the map for 5 minutes sometimes and just not find anyone to kill. This is making the objective game mode a must, and making games like free-for-all and team deathmatch redundant, which is a shame because I love playing team deathmatch and free-for-alls. Most of the maps have the same 3-lane system to the centre of the map, and not a lot of verticality in the maps. I seem to be drawn to the same spots on certain maps, and it just feels a bit boring, for me at least. All the maps we know about have been released as of making this review. I personally feel that the new maps that have been released over the course of Cold War's life cycle have been, well, mediocre at best. Unless you go into a private match, it's really hard to play the new maps, especially after the featured playlist has ended. This is due to being booted out of the lobby after every match. It means there's no real map rotation, and you end up playing the same boring maps over and over. This is an easy fix. Let us stay in a lobby and trust the player to quit if they're unhappy with it. Then, on top of that, there hasn't been a lot of new content. We've just been given remake after remake or reimagining. And it being free content isn't an excuse for the DLC seasons to be, well, meh. Because we're all paying £60 for the game itself. Another problem with the game is just the overuse of the Black Ops brand. I think the nostalgia of great games like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 is being buried by the bad Black Ops titles like 3, 4 and Cold War. Treyarch, please, make a new Call of Duty, one that's not in Black Ops. Let the nostalgia kick in for Black Ops after a few years, remaster Black Ops 1 and 2, and hey presto, everyone's loving Call of Duty again. I don't really have a lot to say on this one, as to be honest, all the guns feel exactly the same. Almost all the attachments don't really make a lot of difference, but they're really hard to unlock. I'm still grinding for my thermal on the sniper. I think rather than cut and pasting Modern Warfare, maybe the devs should have innovated and done their own thing. And the same goes with the perks. There's no go-to perks because they don't really do anything. Like, what's happening to Call of Duty? In this version of Call of Duty, we no longer have Killstreak, rather a system that awards you for playing the objective. On paper, this sounded good, but in practice, there isn't really use for kill streaks, and it seems to feel like a real grind to get more than a UAV. Then, if you get a chopper or an AC-130, the score streaks seem really easy to just shoot down. And if you don't get shot down, it seems really short an amount of time to use the streak. So, the grind really isn't worth it. Sometimes it feels like the dev teams have forgotten how to make a fun game. I mean, the Call of Duty formula used to be all out chaos. Now, the game just seems like it's, well, had its bollocks chopped off. Oh boy, not this again. In Cold War, once again, we have the seasonal system where your rank is reset every 2 to 3 months, meaning if you don't sit and play, you have to start again. 1 level away from prestige 1 minute, the next minute you're set to 1. No in-game prompt to say this is going to happen either. The point in a game isn't necessarily being good at the game. The core to any game is fun. Making a game easier for new players isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is becoming a big fuck you to veterans of the series. With skill-based matchmaking that's booting you out of lobbies at the end of every game, or the fact that the good weapons are unlocked very easily, Call of Duty multiplayer is really missing the challenge to it now versus the reward. It's making games too easy with no real challenges. There's no good games or bad games, just games you do okay in. You never seem to completely slaughter the enemy team anymore. It's always a few points out on either team. There's just not the fun rush anymore. Would I recommend the game? Well, for multiplayer I'd say save your money, at least until there's a sale on. I think there seems to be less effort made every year to keep the Call of Duty classic multiplayer alive. Every year there seems to be less and less innovation to the franchise, and that's a real shame. That being said, there are some really good points about this game. Some really cool and innovative ideas. The issue is that none of the innovation has gone into the multiplayer. Although Cold War is nowhere near as bad as Infinite Warfare, for instance, the multiplayer at least has lost its identity, and it's gone from all-out chaos to hand-holding and making the game as easy as possible. It's left me still craving a challenge, and 1 year on from the title releasing, the content updates just don't seem to make the game exciting anymore. So my advice is, if you're a multiplayer only sort of person, do not buy this game. But if you like the campaign and the zombies mode, it may be worth getting this game. So guys, that's been the review for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. I hope you've enjoyed it. Me and the team, we're going to try our best to upload as regularly as we can. I've been Ben, this has been Nebcam Gaming, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.